The boogeyman is in the Commentators Curse studio. Say no more. Well, you know what? When you get an intro like that and you get somebody coming in and we welcome someone like this to the Commentators Curse studio, I mean, this is like motorsport royalty.
Yeah, 100%.
Or, should I say, MSA's most wanted.
With the reward.
Are we allowed to say that, eh? Are we allowed to say that?
It's your platform.
Listen, my brother. For those of you who don't know, Ismail Peck, a.k.a. the Boogeyman, I mean, you know, he's synonymous in the world of motorsport. The whole idea, of course, of getting him into the studios is not to go that route. Okay, we do want to go that route. We want to chat to you. Hello, ma'am. How are you?
Thank you.
Fantastic. There you go. See, cappuccinos. Thank you very much. What a way to go. He's happy he's got his cappuccino. Boogie, we kind of gave you a little bit of a heads up as to what we're doing here with Commentators Curse. It's something completely different.
No, y'all didn't give me a heads up.
I know, but that's what I'm saying.
That's the point of
That's the whole idea. Our heads up is there is no heads up because we want you in studio and we want the real deal reaction. If I ask you a question and you want to tell me the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth, that's what I want. Because, you know, you and I, we've been around for a while and Carl's joined us on a few occasions. And you walk down pit lane and everybody has a little say about what's going good, bad, ugly in motorsport. And then as soon as you put a microphone in front of their faces, then they go, I'm not going to say anything. You, however, have never had that. You've never had that ability, have you?
No, never. I go live and I say, hey, that one phoned and he said this, and that. And he's welcome to come on my show and let's talk about what you've done.
No, exactly. That's exactly the vibe we want to get to. It's like, you know, to me, and I said this to Greg when we started this concept, is that there's a lot of toxicity and negativity that we feel in terms of in the industry, working in the industry. And it always seems like it's one against the other instead of one trying to help the other and grow the sport. So we want to talk, as much as there is going to be a little bit of unfortunate things we may discuss, the main goal for both of us is to get us all talking in a positive direction and moving motorsport together in the same direction instead of all of us pulling in four different routes.
Sure.
And I think that's very much your direction as much as well with Wamza.
From the beginning.
In the beginning.
Yeah.
In the beginning. Yes, that's right. That's another one for real, by the way.
when I came into Wamza, my first thought was, okay, there's MSA, there's Wamza. Let me get hold of him and let's try and align ourselves with each other. That was my words. Align ourselves with each other because we're kicking a ball to the same posts.
Yes, yeah.
We're not oppositions. Everybody says, yeah, you're opposing. We're not opposing. We are kicking the ball to the same poles. So we need to align ourselves with each other. That was a huge battle to get my first meeting. It took me 6 months. And we've been in lots of discussions. And I'm going to leave it there for now.
Yeah. No, look, I think that's also one of the reasons I wanted to get you in, because you and I have discussed this sort of off track and in the pit lane and in various discussions we've had at other events, stipulating exactly what you're saying. There is definitely a need for that alignment because, as you said, there is one goal, and our goal is motorsport, your goal is motorsport. So whether there is, you know, NASCAR, IndyCar, whatever else happens in America, Motor America, etc., or you go to Europe and you've got GT3s, you've got German touring cars, they're also all going in the same direction. But they have a positive aspect to their motorsport, where we seem to be falling into that negative aspect where, and once again I'm going to say the typical South Africanism, that no one wants to see anybody, you know, succeed. Yeah. As soon as somebody succeeds, they just want to shoot them down and break them to pieces and give them the opportunity to go. And the same thing I think applies. I mean, I was fortunate enough, and I say this because it really was an opportunity for me to see the changes that could come about when Wamza first started, and the breakaway happened with particularly motocross, supermoto, oval track, and drags and drifting. I thought, well, hey, you know what? Opposition is not a bad thing. Yeah. You have it in all forms of life. You have it, I mean, we're dealing with it at the moment at governmental level. You know, the opposition side of things is phenomenal. But it has been pretty spectacular in terms of the government of national unity coming together and now potentially sending South Africa on the route it should be going. Whether or not that happens, you and I don't know that. But in terms of motorsport, we've got a very good understanding of how that could happen. And the same thing applied when I saw that happen. I thought, here's opposition. It's going in the right direction. it certainly had a following because, I mean, the entire motocross fraternity went straight across. They didn't even blink. Oval Track did the same thing. And yes, now there is a platform for both, in both genres, in both organizations, I should say, not the genres. Both organizations have got relatively big fields in both of those. But as you say, what would happen if we could sit around a table, like we're doing right now, Carl, and say, okay, there's MX in South Africa. We've got an MXGP this year. Why are we fighting so hard against each other? I don't know.
That's a huge problem here. I think it's more ego problem. And I think the day everyone puts the sport first,
And the ego second, yeah.
and the ego kick it out of the sport, I think we'll be on a better footing. You know, my last split with someone that I had was when I said to him, you need to be punished the same as a stock rod driver. And he said to me, never. I do too much for the sport for that to ever happen. And I've got the recording of it, and I'm going to play it one of these days. And I said to him, so then you think you're too big for the sport?
Yeah. How many times do we hear that? How many times do we
Yeah,
hear
but we're hearing it as at an ASN level as well. I mean, you go sit it on any table, and that's kind of the conversation. You feel that there's always one step above, and you feel kind of like, okay, well, I'm just the redheaded stepchild here, trying my best to stay in this.
You know, Kyle, when you go back in the history of our sport, right? It's called a money sport. Okay, so only people that had money could put their kids into it, and they'd excel. And then you get the kids that hasn't got money, whether it's white, black, colored, Indian, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They have to start somewhere, and to catch up to that level is a very hard job. And my thing was, I fought a long fight coming through the ranks, okay? I really fought hard. And I thought, you know what? I can show the rest of the guys behind me that there's an easier way now. Because I dug the trench, just follow me in the trench, and things will go well. Because I've been there. I've done that. If I talk to people with problems in life, I say, I shorten your route because I've been there. I can tell you how to do it easily. And but most people only know their way, and that's it. So it becomes difficult. But bottom line with our sport is we really need to put our sport first. That's the most important thing. Right now at WAMSA, where we are right now, we're a governing body. We have our own facility. That makes us unique.
Yeah.
We've got a drag strip. We've got a separate drifting track. We've got a separate spinning section. We've got a separate long circuit. So everything is on its own. And we're the controlling body. So now when I open up, I'm getting guys to all affiliate to me. And then I can, whoever affiliates to our track as a member firstly, I'm going to help them so that they have free practice time. I'll book in slots for everyone. And that's how I'll draw everyone to come over. And that will be available for the people. I went out there, the quarter mile guys were all like, yo, this guy's going to kill us now. I said, no, guys, no. 011, whoever that's running the quarter mile drags, whether it's on the street, on the tracks, hiring tracks, I approached all of them and I said, guys, come to me, come run your stuff here. I'll give you the track to hire. I'll hire the track to you guys so that you guys don't feel that I'm taking over or stealing your drivers or anything. So basically at the end of the day, I want to still bring everyone together, and I'm still going to fight against MSA so that we can still get somewhere one day, and it will happen. It will happen sooner than later.
I love the fact that you've gone and not only sort of developed a circuit with all of those genres in mind, but also it's putting your money where your mouth is. You know, that's I think also a lot of the problems that we have in motorsport, and I've seen it on numerous occasions with various entities and various promoters and various people behind the scenes of motorsport, where they see a loophole, they take the loophole and they run with it. And as I said, this is not a go at trying to make money. If you want to make money out of motorsport, go for it. No, but I'm saying go for it. If you want to make money from motorsport, go for it. I'm not stopping you. Yeah. I'm not saying that you can't have a business that comes out of the sport we love. But I am saying that put something back, okay? Try and help with the development of the sport as well. And then, most importantly, and I think it's probably the be-all and end-all of the discussion we wanted to have here, is make your money, but provide infrastructure for someone else to possibly make some money out of it as well.
back.
Don't just make it your own and hang on with white knuckles like everybody else does. And then when you see the thing falling to pieces, you jump ship and disappear from the world of motorsport completely. How many guys do we know that have been involved in motorsport that have gone, made money, made lots of money out of a sponsor that they've pulled in to sponsor their series? They go 2-3 years and they go, okay, this is about to fall to pieces. And then you just never hear from them again. I mean, I know the prime example is the guy that put Pakisa together, Bobby. Whatever he did there was phenomenal initially. Where is he now? Where's the millions he made from that circuit? Where is that circuit right now? You've been there. I mean, I know you did a video out there only a couple of months ago. Liam Jacobs went out there to do a video. He looked at it and went, what the hell actually went wrong here? We had a world-class FIM approved circuit. 5 years of MotoGP. It's gone. And within 10 years after that, the circuit is dilapidated.
No, it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. That circuit was on the same level as the Kailamis.
For sure.
Well, it's only Pakisa, Pakisa freeway.
It's heartbreaking. Absolutely. Have you seen what it looks like now?
No, I was out there only probably about a month and a half before December. I went out there for something, I can't remember where it was, for a motocross event that I had to go and do a recce on. And I drove around the circuit. And actually, just before the new SAES took over with EXO, and the previous, the one that was run by Roger, we did an event out there. And I actually went onto the top of that VIP building that's across the road on the banking
Tower.
During MotoGP, that was the place to be. You had the be-all and end-all of motorsport that would take out a VIP hospitality suite there, would look after their guests, etc. I stood on top there for the very first time. I'd never been up there when I did MotoGP there for 5 years, and when I did anything else with Extreme Fest or Super Series or anything. And I stood on the top platform and I thought, my goodness, what have we done here? What has South African motorsport done to this place? Because I'm standing on top of a building that used to host the top echelon in the government and in motorsport sponsors, watching MotoGP unfold. But in the races we had at Pakisa, we had some spectacular races. Gary McCoy coming from 16th place on the grid to win. Rossi changing from Honda to Yamaha for the first time. We saw that. Yeah, we were witness to it as South Africans.
It put us on the map.
Exactly. No, for sure.
Where's the problem here in our sport? The problem is people got a passion for money and people got a passion for the sport. So when you got a passion for the sport, our government, our people that's all higher than us, they must look for the people that's got passion for the sport, and then our sport will grow. But if you're picking people that's got passion for money, it's going to go into their pockets. If you take government as well, you have to have a passion for South Africa.
Yes.
If you have a passion for South Africa, you're going to make sure this country is going to work. But if you have a passion for money, it's a big problem. So I think we need to get professors out there, a panel of professors that's going to sit there and say, you know what, that guy's not going to be the right guy for the sport because he's not passionate about the sport.
So maybe a panel of psychologists rather than vet the guys before they go in there.
You know, Kyle, in 2.5 years that I've been CEO of World of Motorsport WAMSA, I haven't taken 1 cent salary. I haven't taken a cent in 1.5 years for my traveling. I've collected money all over to put the biggest events together. And I put huge events on already. And whatever money we get in from our licenses and everything, we take that money, we put it back into the sport.
That is the one thing that, I've been involved with the FKR for being the series at Formula K that shift the series. And I've been involved with them for years and with the Tillises joining them. And it was always something that we were very happy with WAMSA about in terms of, however many license holders we go, you come back to the series to help the series and give back to the series as WAMSA, which is something we never saw from MSA. But however, going forward now into the new season, we have to move from WAMSA. We feel we have to move from WAMSA to MSA because we can't provide start permission for our Tillisons. And that's forced us now to go, okay, we have to move from there to MSA. And the one conversation I had with MSA when I sat with him was, the one thing WAMSA has that MSA doesn't is grassroots. You guys control grassroots karting. You have F400, you had at the time Tillison and FKR, which is all the club sort of entry, not national status, but allow people to come in at a much cheaper rate for any series.
Yeah.
So it did assist in that way, but the only thing that stopped you was that starting permission.
Okay, well, let me tell you.
That was the question I wanted to ask, was the starting permission conversation.
So Nico Roots came and see me last year sometime. And I said to him, Nico, come and talk to me. Let's do something. And I think the F400 is the biggest series in karting.
Without a doubt.
Right? And they're going to stick with Wamsa. I said to him, right, stick with Wamsa. I flew over to Dubai and I started talking to people there. Unfortunately, it was December time, but I'm going to go back soon. And I tell you what, as long as I'm standing today, the winners in our F400s is getting a drive in UAE.
For the 24-hour.
For the 24-hour. As soon as I can pull this off, I'm going to pull it off.
That's amazing.
And I tell you what, we're going to do everything and we want to send 2 or 3 teams down. Because our guys are good. You know, put our guys anywhere in the world.
Oh, we see it every time in every form of motorsport. We go to GT3, we do well. We go to any top karting, we do well. We go to any top motorcycle event worldwide, we do well. So we've got the talent.
Can you imagine if, I'm not discarding or discrediting anyone that's overseas right now doing well, because they obviously have the talent. But imagine we look for the raw talent out there. If we get raw talent, if you go out to the schools, you take kids, this is what we're going to do actually. We're going to build a massive thing there at our track. That's our next thing we're building. We're going to put 20 simulators in there, and we're going to start getting kids from schools. I don't care, white, black, Indian color, I don't give a damn no more. It's motorsport for me.
Yeah, that's
motorsport for me.
That's my
We're in the
favorite
same boat.
term of that conversation,
You know, let me just say something. People's going to shoot me down.
No, say it. Hey, that's why we are. That's why we are.
You know, apartheid.
That's why it's a curse.
Apartheid was a problem in this country. But you know what apartheid has taught me? To take so little and make so much of it. Where the others had a lot to work with. It was easy for them to do what they want to do. Where I had nothing to work with. And it taught me to work damn hard at what I do to get to where I must be. And and now I look back at apartheid and I say, it actually done well for me. Anyone that wants to blame their crap on apartheid is making excuses for their own shit in life.
Yeah.
And now for our next guest, Jan van Riebeck. No. You know what I'm saying? No, Boogie, I'm 100% behind you. You know what, Tay? I unfortunately on 3 occasions have been held back on my own sporting career because of what I term the reverse of what has happened with apartheid. Because unfortunately, as a white man in this country, we're under the cosh. We're under massive pressure because you want to go into any form of motorsport, you want to go into any form of sport. Okay, unfortunately, there is a quota system that is put into place. And yes, MSA have got it, and rugby have got it, and soccer have got it, and cricket have got it. I have no problem with you coming and taking my position if you have the talent and I don't.
Yeah, sure.
But if I've got the talent and you're coming in purely as the color, that doesn't work for me.
Sure.
So on that, I mean, we're on the same level in terms of that. You're saying you took the small thing and built it big. Great. And that's exactly what I admire about you. And when the big guys had everything around them, what have they done with it? 10, 15 years ago, we had World Superbikes here. We had MotoGP here. We had an F1 Grand Prix in 1993. We had Formula 1 ×2. We had all international events. Yes, we've had a couple of international events that are coming in. Please, goodness gracious, everything goes according to plan with this MXGP coming back to South Africa, because the last 3 that I was involved in, 2 at Sun City and 1 in Nelspruit, were spectacular. And it did wonders for the country. But just after that, that's where the split happened. And I've kind of been trying to put my finger on the position of who pushed that button, who went, no, we're done with MSA. Let's rock and roll, and we're out of here. Because it really rocked South African motorsport for a long time. You know, you were in the beginning stages. I watched it from the outside. I watched it from a point of view that at one point in my career, I was told, you can't do any WAMSA events. And I was like, no, you can't tell me as a hired gun what events I can and can't do. I will go to a WAMSA event if I want to. I will go to an MSA event if I want to. If MSA want me to do that event, or the promoter wants me to do that event, I'm there. If WAMSA are doing the same, I'm there. So there is an outside industry that is affected by the politics of dancing that you've got there. And you're handling it really well on your side. I don't think it's happening as well on the other side. That's my honest opinion. And it's also one of the discussion points we're going to move on to, because not only we don't want to get your side only, we're going to go the other side as well and get their point, because there's got to be two sides to every single story.
Sure.
There's the one side, the other side, and the truth. That's what I always say. So we're going to try and find the truth. And I love the fact that, and it's one of the reasons I said to Carl, we need to get you in here, because I love the fact that you just go, it's that. There's no bullshit with you, bud. It's that, and that's it. You're not going to go and tell people this, and then go around the corner and go, no, we're going to do it that way. We're not going to do this so that we're going to no, shot left, we'll meet you there. No, you're there. You're going there.
Do you know, I promoted 2 MSA Oval events already. I went in there, I said, Wamsa is going to help promote this MSA event because we must just all do it together. And I phoned up the promoter and I said, I want to help you promote it. And it was the biggest event he's ever had in the history of South Africa. And certain people claim that it was because of them, but I don't care. I went to PE last year. It was their biggest event ever in the history of PE to have a big event like it, and they're under MSA. But I went there just to show people that we can do it together. But I tramped on people's toes by doing that. The worst part in my life, that if I sit with you and talk to you here, don't go around the damn corner
and say something completely different. Yeah.
and
Listen, by the way, you know what he said. Yeah.
It was-
No, I don't want to say
No,
it.
no, it's like
Here we
this.
go. It's right here. So you've
like
heard
this.
it.
It's like this. Hello, are you alone? Can I? Loudspeaker.
That is,
But the one thing
that
I
is
wanna ask
exactly what I said. Sorry, Carly. The one thing that, like I said, is this is what happens. You walk down pit lane, you go into a pit box, you're in a motorsport building, you're chatting to a team, you're talking to drivers, and they're all wow. And as soon as you want to say something that's a little bit controversial or you want to get it on record, no, we're not going to say.
No, but I mean, I've had that. I've sat at tables where I've had actual conversations in boardroom meetings, obviously with the wrong people, and the conversation go, no, we agree with you. We think we should be doing those things. We should be doing that to help the sport and grow the sport and get all this involved. And then 2 weeks later, the conversation is completely different, and what I said is completely wrong, and I should be, lambasted and put out as a leper. But like, is that not? So, as Wamsa, you guys, you're more the oval, the rally, the off-road, the FIM kind of this station at the moment. And it's not as much on a national massive level like they're trying to do with the touring cars and the rest of it with the Extreme Fest and be that massive national thing. You've done a really good job for grassroots.
We can't be. Because SASCOC, if you go through SASCOC and FIA, you only can have one
One that's affiliated with the FIA, yeah.
That's right. So we can't be two.
With the work that you've done at grassroots, surely it's not a conversation maybe to have with MSA that you're doing such a great job at grassroots. Should that not be MSA's call to go, well, if you're doing such a good good job at grassroots, leave it to you.
Yeah, that's what I
Together as a let's hold each other's hands and grow together and move forward. And MSA then doesn't have to worry about the grassroots because there is no more club racing in South Africa. You don't see it.
I tell you what, I'm actually busy with the hectic story at this moment that will come out very soon. And when that comes out, I'll come and sit here and tell you all. But at this moment, I can't say what I need to say that I want to say.
We want you to say what you can.
Yeah.
And when you can, we're going to bring you back again.
We don't want to be the reason you're not able to do the good you have been doing.
And also, we have to be careful on what we say because they're going to go, no, those two guys.
We still got to work in this industry.
They're out of here.
No, bottom line is we need to just pick up our motorsport, pick up the people, look for the guys that's out there that's really just got talent, raw talent. You get people you can just pick out somewhere and you find raw talent. And that's the guys you can throw in anywhere and they'll do well. They'll do well. And that's actually what we've never done in this country.
Yeah, we've always looked at the guy that could, you've got talent. We'll give it to you at a half price if you can still pay the half price. Exactly. I don't know how many times I've had that conversation. Carl, we think you're a great driver. We'd love you in a Cobra. Do it at half price. And I'm like, I can't find 10% of the price, so I'll just watch someone else drive the car for now.
But also, right, if I had my way in this lifetime, I don't know how long my life, I'll be angry if I must die because I still got a lot to do.
Yeah. He's done because you want to see where he's going to go.
Kicking and screaming.
Yeah.
If you take motorsport and you can start something in the bottom where you're not going to charge people money. And businesses out there that's huge, that can put money into it and help us put up schools, put up something where we can teach people, maybe not even in the motorsport sector, but If I won 100 million or 200 million on the lotto, I'd take that money and I'll build a building there in the Free State on the farms. I'll go buy land there, I'll build a massive building, and I'll put teachers there, and I'll say, let's take all these people off the streets here. Let's arrest them if they stand on the streets and collect money. Or they have to go there to go and learn how to either build an engine or how to farm
that's the one
or
thing
how
we're
to
missing,
do something. But everybody's holding on to their money. And you know, the day we can just, they say in South Africa, all the rich people in South Africa, if you take all their money and you spread it out, we won't have no poor people here. We'll have no poor. Did you ever know that?
I'm going to throw in something there. And it was something that happened just when we went through that whole horrible period of 2 years where we could do nothing and we all stayed at home and hoped that something was going to happen. We were given a stupid amount of money from a certain country. And I thought to myself, hey, but that's brilliant, fantastic. You know, the government has got this money and we're gonna be able to survive. We're gonna make it through COVID. We're all gonna survive. If every South African at that point in time was just given 1 million rand out of that 500 whatever it was, million or billion it was, where would we be right now? We got 45 million or 50 million people in this country, let's just say, okay? So there's 500 million to play with there. Give every single person 1 million rand, we'd be having this conversation. We wouldn't be having this conversation. People would be in a completely different scenario to what we are right now. We wouldn't have what I watched on Carte Blanche last night, where you go, how are people living like that? How is the government allowing people to live like that? You know, it blows my mind. And the same thing applies to what you just said there. I mean, Kyle and I are huge promoters in terms of trying to bring through, particularly Kyle more than me. I'm trying on the commentators side and on the PR side and the marketing side, as you know. But Kyle on a grassroots level where he's literally taking that raw talent you're speaking about and going, okay, you want to be an F1 driver? Stop. You're not going to be an F1 driver. Let's get you into a touring car. Let's get you into a Polo Cup, then into a touring car, and let's see if we can get you onto the GT3 route. Don't go F1. It's not going to be your way. You don't have enough talent. You don't have enough money, first of all.
Yeah, talent's not the problem. The money is.
So when I look at that, I go, exactly what you just said. Why can't, and I know you're working frantically, I know the contacts you've got, I know the business echelon that you have behind your thinking, and bringing in those people that you know that are supercar drivers, that are multimillionaires in this country, and you're tapping into them. You are. That's the thing. MSA have got the same scenario. They can go that route. We've got multimillionaires involved in motorsport, but not necessarily giving back to the sport that they love. It's all or nothing. It's, yes, I'll do it, and I'm going to love life, and I'm going to buy 6 Lamborghinis, and I'm going to go and whatever. Or I'm going to send my kid off and spend 12 million rand a year to let him go and drive in the UAE. And it's fantastic. Great. But where is the future? You know, where are we going to go from here? Who's going to take the reins when you step down? Who's going to take the reins when Vic steps down? Who's going to take the reins when I step down? Right now, this is the only guy that I can count on to take an event from me, or Vic. That's all I've got. So Vic says to me, okay, I can't do a thing. He phones me, he says, can you do it? Yes, I can. Right. So him and I work together, and the loudest white boy on South African soil and the voice of choice, we interact and we flip out when we can. Same thing when you phone me. Say, can I do it? Yes, I can't. No, I can't. Okay, I'll get Vic. That's what you do. Same thing applies now. I didn't have Kyle 2 years ago. I had Kyle 10 years ago when we were still doing karting on a voiceover basis, and that's where he started. But the route has been 10 years of learning to get him onto our live stream.
Yeah.
I'm trying to bring through, exactly the way you are, some youngsters into the sport, or people that are on the keyboard warriors. He should never be doing this. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Okay, well,
Here's a mic.
stop, but
This goes back to what we want to build with our simulators. So we're going to get in lots of kids, right? And we're going to sift through them. We're actually speaking to Devon at Big Boss Auto to help us with this as well. And, you'll find if you must just open up something and say, come, let's put you in race cars and test you. And you ask someone, why do you want to do this? And they'll say, because I'm so passionate about it, right? And I always preach, I say, don't chase your passion. Be passionate about what you're doing right now.
Mm.
If you're passionate about what you're doing right now, it will grow. You'll wake up happy with a smile every morning because you'll be doing something that you'll be passionate about. Even if you hate it, drive it, make it good, make it work. Because if you chase your passion, have you checked Idol Show?
Yeah.
Right? The singing contest. So when they come on stage, Simon or Randall Abrams will say, so why are you here today? And they say, because I'm passionate about singing. And he says, and what does your family think about you singing? They all say, I'm fantastic. And then then he says, okay, the floor is yours. They take the mic and they go,
Can't sing.
and he says, but you can't sing. I said, I can. I am passionate about this.
Yeah.
So,
That's what you need. That mentality.
Yeah.
You might not be good at it, but as long as you're passionate about it, give it everything you got.
right. Now don't follow. If you're passionate, don't follow whatever you're passionate about. Be passionate about what you're doing right here, right now, and things will work for you. So that when the day you get a racing car, be passionate about that.
Yeah.
Don't look at it out there and say, Lewis can drive like it. I want to be Lewis Hamilton or. Forget about that. You have to start somewhere. And when you start somewhere and you go through the ranks, I think I got here to where I am just by coming in and me and Dumi just walking down the lane and saying, right, we're going to do this. No.
Didn't go to work.
You brought up, we've been talking a lot about the drivers and getting drivers and getting talented drivers in the rest. Now, I took my race team, I had 16 drivers, and I decided I can't do race team anymore. It's not something I can do. I don't have the attitude for it. It's not the 16 kids, it's the 16 sets of parents I have to deal with. I don't have that set of skills.
That's hard.
I know I don't have that set of skills, so I decided, okay, I'm going to go driver coaching. That's what I'm good at. That's what I'm passionate about. That's always been my niche. Driver coach the kids, help them get going. To the point that, you almost become a big brother to them the amount of time you spend with those kids. But it's all good and well taking the talent that we have and nurturing the driver. The biggest thing for me in terms of karting, which is what I'm involved with every day and deal with on a 7 days a week, I never have issues with the amount of talent and knowledge that my drivers have. The biggest issue I have at any given race circuit is the amount of passion, love, and knowledge that the officials have.
Yeah.
We don't seem to, and this is just from my perspective, we don't seem to put the same amount of effort into our officials that we put into our drivers. The amount of money I see the parents spending on their kids and spending on their racing is phenomenal. But I don't see anybody spending that amount of money in our officials and in our guys that actually run the events and keep the safety of the kids in line. And the biggest problem is those poor Orange Army guys that have to stand out there in the rain, in the sun, in the wind for $150 and a burger. And the first time something goes wrong on track, the first person that gets blamed is that poor marshal. So like for you as Wamsa, I just want to know, like, do you guys have a plan set for those officials and for those marshals to help them in their particular set that they're working in terms of being rally or off-road or karting?
So last year we started for the first time having workshops for our marshals, our COCs, our track owners, and we hire a place, Kapanong in Kempton Park. And we spend from Friday till Sunday there. And we have like seminars and teaching and.
Oh, brilliant.
But,
okay.
Because there's so many different trends, you can't control everything nicely.
Yeah.
So you have to start at the base where you teach them, and you have to hope that your foundation is strong enough for them to work off that.
Yes.
But everyone's got their own idea also in their head. It's not easy. It's
sure.
not easy. So I think once our circuit is 100%, not even once our circuit, what we have already, we can start having our own marshals, training them, using them, and then I can appoint them. You go there, you go there, you go there. And I've always asked for this last 2 years, let Wamsa appoint the marshals. Let us pay them. So we pick them. So you blame us if anything is wrong. But no, it's been a hard job to do.
Yeah, I see a lot of the circuits go ahead and get their own marshals and their own. And I mean, with Formula K being your neighbor and having karting right next door as well. I mean, with Wamsa being involved in the circuit, I think we have a lot of series there that are Wamsa. But like a lot of the guys that they do the marshal training, they do a lot of the official training, a lot of people aren't using the knowledge that's in the sport. So for instance, in karting, you've got Leroy Poulter, Mark Ranier, myself to a degree, Neil Basilio. You've got all this years of European and local karting knowledge, but I don't feel like the ASNs use our knowledge or our expertise enough. We don't talk to teams. We talk to either karters or competitors, or we talk to officials and circuit owners. Everything you're going to get from those is always going to be a biased opinion from their side. You're never going to get the truth. The truth's always going to come from the guys that are on the ground working with it.
Sure.
So, is there no way that there's a program that could be set up to use that sort of
platform.
Yeah, that knowledge that is there. I mean, a lot of us spend a lot of time. I mean, we've done all forms of motorsport in terms of what we have in South Africa and knowledge we have. I mean, Sarah Merv is a great point.
That's where the problem becomes a problem because of the split. So you're not happy with you jump ship.
Yeah.
I'm not happy with you, I jump ship.
I'm not happy with you. Let's fix the problem.
There mustn't be that issue. We were supposed to be joining and saying, no, we work together. If someone's got a hassle with you, phone me. I'll sort them out as well. And I've done that. I flew to Cape Town. When I thought someone was unfairly dealt with MSA, well, do for SA, I flew down to go and listen to their story. And then I'll sit there and I'll say, all right, no, they're right, they're wrong, whatever. I've done it so that we can start getting each other closer. But since last year until now, I'm actually still busy pulling all the knives out my back, one by one, and dealing with that still before I can get again on a run again, you know. But at the end of the day, you know what? Our track we're going to start hosting events now. Our buildings, all our licenses are through, so we can start building. Once we build, have our offices there, we're going to start doing things. We actually hired in a whole PR company now to start helping us with everything. A huge PR company. I was in meetings last week. Yo.
You raise a very valid point. Two things I want to bring out of it. First of all, on the training side, it's vital that we get that training in, and we've got to make sure that the training happens on a regular basis and a more regular basis than what it's happening right now. Because at grassroots level, you not only want to develop the sport in terms of the drivers, you want to develop the sport in terms of the support that goes with it. So, do you have someone that can handle the marshals? Is there a marshalling body like? And the prime example is, of course, Kyle Army. They're world famous. Kyle Army Marshals Association has been world famous. They're renowned, and
we can learn from them,
anything they do on an international level here in South Africa. That's the first people they call. They started a program which started to develop Red Star Raceway, Formula K, V-Town, all the bits and pieces that used to come in, and now being based at Swartkorps, where they've combined forces with Swartkorps' Marshalling Association. It's kind of become a three-way. With Red Star as part of that equation. But then again, the other point you raised was, you want to do as much as you can and bring in as much as you can from an outside point of view, where you're going to get some governmental backing, which we highly need in South African motorsport, despite what MSA is saying and the stamp of approval from SASCOC. That's great. The stamp of approval from SASCOC is good. To be FIA and FIM affiliated is fantastic, because that starting information that you need has to come out of that body. You, unfortunately, as WAMSA, will probably never get that, and if you do, phenomenal. Maybe
Don't say never.
I'm never saying never. I'm never saying never. But right now, it's not in your hands. It's in somebody else's hands. But I'm not saying that it's not going to change, and there's not an ability to change it. If FIA or if CIK or FIM or whoever sees the ability, that could also potentially be a big wake-up call for the people at MSA.
100%.
But I think my point being here is, when you look at the current situation in South African motorsport and how we're working so hard to do those changes, and you mentioned the fact that you've had those meetings, you've done it on your own steam, you've discussed things that have been good, and you've told guys, listen, and that's the beauty about what I love about you, Boogie, is if Kyle's wrong, and he's fighting MSA, and he thinks MSA is wrong, and you come and you have that discussion with him, and you tell him, you're wrong, he must realize that he's wrong.
Yeah, sure.
Which has happened.
and with this problem. That's what I was saying, but then the same thing applies if it's the other way around. If he says you're right.
Yeah, fight with
then
him.
Fight it.
Yeah.
The problem we got right now is that the fight becomes so tedious. I mean, we're sitting with situations in motorsport South Africa right now where it's 4 years down the line, multi-million rands being spent on suits and lawsuits and court cases and blah, blah, blah. And no light at the end of the tunnel. It's just a constant battle. And
you know,
this happens.
Money they're
No, that's what I'm
draining.
saying.
Yeah, I've seen that list.
You have a fight that's been happening for 4 years, and you think to yourself, okay, the guy's fighting it. He can do it all day long, as many days as you want. He's got the money. MSA do not. If that goes south and doesn't go the way of MSA, where do they go? They're going to be possibly insolvent from this. Is it worth that battle? Is it really, really worth going down that line to have that massive fight to come out of there and go, yeah, we showed you.
Let me tell you a story.
Tell me. That's why you're here.
So there was someone, I'm not going to mention names, he took MSA to court, he took Wamsa to court, okay? And he's got attorneys, he's got money to back himself. And then I took over Wamsa, and then Ann Bakker said to me, what are we going to do about this guy taking us to court? It's chowing the money, because that's what it does.
Yeah.
It's money. I said, give me his number. Phone him up. Sir, can we sit down? Sure, come see me. Oh, I sit there with him, we negotiate, we talk, we settle. Court case finished, stops just there. As long as you think you're bigger than the other person, you're going to battle out that
Exactly.
money that should have gone for the sport in lawyers and attorneys. Attorneys is not cheap. If you go to
no.
High Court, Supreme
No,
Court,
no.
500K, one shot.
Yeah, but just a phone call is 1,000 rand. A letter is 2.5 grand.
My
And I
phone
send you a
bill was
letter.
$275.
Exactly.
Well, there's a
on
gentleman,
good Celsi rate.
well, there's a gentleman that we know of in my industry particularly that has been going at Motorsport South Africa for the last 3, 4, 5, 6 years. I can't even. I'm not going to mention his name because I'm
No,
more
we're not going
scared
to
of
mention his
him.
name because we're going to get him in here.
I'm more scared of him than anybody else.
No, he's going to be here. I have already negotiated a sit-down conversation with him. I want his story.
But the point I'm making is that, yes, I don't agree with what he's doing at MSA and going after them the way he is, but his reasoning behind it, I do fully side with.
Yeah.
And that reasoning is he doesn't feel like that as an ASN is doing what it should do for that particular sport to grow it. Because in his mind, what karting is the education and the starting point for any motorsport.
Yeah.
And
If you fix it at that route,
I'll add to you, we got a world champion in Clinton Mercedes.
Yeah.
He came back with a world championship, okay?
Yeah.
In his grassroots level coming through the sport, I sat as a commentator in V-Town doing national karting. It was when they were still joint Rock and Rotex on the same day.
yeah, the engine
And supercars.
Yeah.
And I sat in the commentator's booth, which unfortunately is also, as you know, in V-Town, it's the COC's office and race control. But they don't have enough facilities, so you sit there right in the corner, you got a little timing monitor, and you kind of da-da-da-da-da. And in the background, in walks this 10-year-old on his own and starts going off at the COC, but properly. No holds barred. No Commentators Curse style, no holds barred. I turn around and I'm going, who the hell is this thing? So he walks out. So the COC, which was Eldred, who was Mr. around, Mr. Bean, I said to him, who was that? He said, that's Clinton Mercedes. I said, okay. I say, sorry, folks, I'm just going to make a quick announcement. Would Mr. Mercedes please come up to the COC's office with Clinton? Okay? The race finishes. They're standing outside. They wait outside. I push pause on the microphone and I say, please come inside. And I said to them, guys, I said, Mr. Mercedes, I said, your son was atrocious in his behavior. I said, I've never heard a 10-year-old speak to an adult like that in my life before. I said, where were you when he was here, when he was called up? You are his entrant. He cannot come in as the entrant at 10 years of age and throw the odds and shout the odds. It's not how we do it. I then sent probably a 7-page email to MSA the next day or the Monday, stipulating, because at that point I was also involved with Vodacom Power Tour and it was just about to change to Super Series. So I was in the process of taking over Westbank's management of the National Championship Circuit Racing and monitoring that on a 15 million rand a year budget and outgunning what Vodacom did in 6 years as Vodacom Power Tour. We outgunned them in the first year as Westbank Super Series. So I have a fair understanding of how the sport works and the nitty-gritty, as you know, of being a driver, being an official, being a commentator, watching the officials, watching international events come in here, how the level raises and drops, etc., etc. And I thought to myself, you know what? The problem we have in motorsport right now in terms of driver behavior, okay, is being taught to these kids at that level. And I put it in writing and I sent it through. I've yet to get a response on that email from MSA whatsoever. And take nothing away. I think Clinton Mercedes is a phenomenal kid. He's grown, he's matured, he's changed, he's completely changed his whole attitude compared to what he was. Please goodness, and the man upstairs and whoever else you want to go to, my interaction and my interjection there was the catalyst for him to go, so maybe I shouldn't have been such a doer.
Yeah, sure.
You know, maybe I shouldn't have been such a little shit. And he went on to win a world championship. So yes, great. He went on to win a Polo Cup championship. So And he's now helping with driver interaction. He's with driver training, same as you. He does a lot of preparation on cars. So his whole thing has changed. And please, Clint, if you're watching, this is not a go at you. You know the story. I've had a chat with you, and your dad knows the story as well. It's a case of being at the right place at the right time where you can, like you do on numerous occasions, you can intervene and going, whoa, what are you doing, bud? You're destroying your motorsport career before it even starts.
Yeah, but also you're not just reprimanding him. You're not just reprimanding him. Sorry for the point of you're educating. And I think that's what we miss as officials.
That's where I came in as a teacher. From being a teacher when I started my career, before I even climbed on a microphone, I looked at it and went, there's no way in hell I let one of my kids speak to me like that. Mr. Bean was in the wrong. He should have nailed it then and there. And I said to Albert, I said, my bud, you let this climb all over you. You need to up your game. Maybe he learned from that as well. I don't know. I'm just saying that intervention came at the right time, and where he progressed from, and I'm not blowing my own horn here, please goodness it had something to do with what I said. And hopefully there's more people like me, like you, like Carl, like all those people that are wanting to do good in motorsport. Leroy's a good example. That are at the right place at the right time to go, hey, pull your reins in. You're getting away a little bit. You're not Lewis Hamilton. You can't dictate, okay? Lewis Hamilton had it handed to him on a silver platter from the age of 6 years of age.
Yeah.
He's never paid for a thing in his life in motorsport, and he still never will. And he's probably the only driver in the world that gets paid to do what he loves. Everybody else is paying their own bills. They're paying bits and pieces here and there. No matter how much small it is, how big or small it is, or if your daddy's got the money to buy a team, or if you have got the greatest talent, but you'll never ever get there because you don't have the money. We've got prime examples in this country. Arnie Neveling, leading a single-seater championship, doing an amazing job, runs out of money. Who goes ahead of him? Hulkenberg and Bottas.
Those stories all the way through South Africa.
Tace, you know what?
I know. You got to rock and roll.
I must be
No, you got to rock and roll.
O'clock.
Quick final word, please, Boogie.
On the 1st of March, we're having a supercar run from McLaren, Johannesburg, in Melrose Arch, to Mzansi Racetrack. All the guys with the supercars will get, whoever comes out to McLaren will get armbands, we'll get to Mzansi, we'll have a breakfast there. We're going to set up stuff for a breakfast. It's in the Ramadan month. Nothing I can do. Motorsport must go on.
As that goes.
God.
God, Allah, we're all good.
I'll do it. I'll still fasting, don't worry. On the 1st, that's going to happen. On the 7th, we have our Nokwacha event, which is the hill climb. We have 16 different hill climbs on the mountain. That's also what we have. We have a mountain there.
Exactly.
Who has a mountain for the people to climb?
But
Exactly.
Israel, where is this track? Like location-wise?
Snake Road.
Right next door to you.
I know, but I wanted you to tell everybody else.
So do yourself a favor. Just check out, go and find Boogeyman, okay? Ismail Peck, Boogeyman, on any social media. If you can't, we'll put up a link on ours now. It'll be at the bottom. Viewer's going to chuck that in. He's giving me the thumbs up. The little link there will be there. Anything that happens in Mzansi Motorsport, you'll be able to find out. If you don't find him on social media, then you don't know how to use social media because he's everywhere. He's on TikTok, he's on Top Kick, he's on Bookface, he's on Insta Twitter, he's everywhere. Okay, it's all good.
I'm shocked at the people that still says, where is this racetrack? It's like, huh?
Welcome to my world.
Where do you live?
Well, I can tell you right now, Carl and I will probably be there at some point. I know I'm going to be there on the 21st, so if you want to check out my page, you can. You can check out Commentators Curse as well. Boogie, thank you for your time.
Guys, thank you very much. Thank you for having me. And I'll have lots to talk about in the near future for you guys. I'm actually going to write a book about my journey. I don't think you guys know that I grew up very poor. We lived in a
We know that. I do.
2-bedroom, 40 square meter house in Bosmont. And I was out of school in standard 6. I had to work. And so I had to work very hard to where I am today. So never stop working hard, people. Just push and push and push. You'll get to the top of the mountain. Cheers, everyone.
There you have it. Say no more.